What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Greenleaf Recap, which aired on Tuesday, September 17th on the OWN Network. So the show comes on with Grace. She makes a visit to what looks like a halfway house to see her son AJ. He comes downstairs talking about, "What you doing here? I thought I told you, just send me the money. Like, you don't have to come here. So if you're trying to establish some type of relationship with me, I'm really not in for it. I just want the money. So I don't care how bad you feel. I mean, that's on you that you feel bad for throwing me away. But like I say, I just want money so you can just go ahead about your business." He was just like straight out the gate, just going in on her, talking all loud and everything in the halfway house. And she's standing up there looking all embarrassed and everything, and just not really expecting him to go in like that. Okay. And so they show Lady May, and she's telling Bishop about a dream she had that she was in a museum. And there's this picture of Jesus, and the picture was destroyed. And she was like, "And you were standing next to the picture with a bloody knife in your hand." And he was like, "Me?" And then she said, "Yes." He was like, "Well, I wonder what that means." And she said, "It means that you have to make everything right with the church. You have to apologize to the church for everything we did." And he was like, "I don't have to apologize for nothing." Like Bishop was like, "I'm not trying to hear that. I ain't apologizing for nothing." So then they show Jacob and Carissa, and she walks in all bright eyed and bushy tailed, talking about she got some good news. We got buyers, and guess what? They willing to pay for the property more than what we putting it up for. And you could tell that Jacob didn't want to hear that. Like, he don't want to sell their property. So Charity, she's listening in to this new selection for the church. And she was like, "I'm not feeling it because it sounds too white." And you know what, H&H now being owned by me. Like, she just like, "Look, I ain't feeling this in my spirit. I'm not about to pretend like I do. So we're gonna have to change this. I'm gonna have to pay a visit to Grace and tell her, look, I'm not doing it." So Miss Williams, she shows up to the church looking for Grace, and Kareen is like, "Grace is not here." And then Miles show up and scoop her up and take her with him to his office. And she's just like all upset. So she gets on the phone, Kareen, and she calls Lady May and tells Lady May that someone is there to speak to Grace. Well, Miss Williams is there to speak to Grace about her daughter and the intervention and everything that Grace was supposed to go with her to set her up with. And so she's nowhere to be found. And so Lady May was like, "Well, thank you, Kareen, for calling me and let me know." So, like I say, Miles, he told Kareen to just hold his calls. And she was like, whatever. Like, you could tell she cannot stand him. So, back at the halfway house, Grace is still trying to talk with AJ. And it seems like she got to damn near beg him to get a little conversation out of him. And at the same time, I can understand, like, the way that he is approaching this whole situation. I mean, you threw him away and now you're back in his life. Like, you got to expect someone to react in that way. And he has every right to. So I'm not judging the dude at all for being the way he is. It's just like, I'm telling you, he not holding back with the punches. He's just straight up telling her, like, "Look, what do you want? Because I don't want to be bothered with you. I know you got money, so you can run me some money and just get on out of my way." So anyway, they're just talking and everything. And he was just telling her that it's like, you just don't know me, and you think that you could just pop back up and just fix things and stuff like that. So Jacob's having a talk with Bishop about Carissa wanting to buy their property. And Bishop is telling Jacob it's not really about the property. You have to pay attention to your wife. You got to think about it. Your wife, she still thinks about when you cheated on her with Tasha. And that really, really hurted her. So you wanna get things back to the way it used to be, and you wanna let her know that she's secure with you in this marriage. So just pay attention to your wife. Just love your wife. And he was like, I mean, just be a man and let her know we not selling that property. So that's what Bishop told Jacob. So AJ finally decides to go in and give Grace a little chance to speak her piece about everything. And they decide to go and look for an apartment for him. So Zora, she walks in the church and bumps into Auntie Charity. And she's checking up and down like, Zora, where you going? You coming for the little saints? Because she looking all snazzy and everything all did up. And she was like, just talking her little noise and everything. Little do Charity know that she's only there because she know that Jacob is about to meet Dante at the church in his office. So she's made her way into her daddy's office, sitting at the desk, waiting on Dante to walk in. Little did she know when Dante walked in, he walked in with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend made it known, yes, I'm the one. So she stand up there with the little attitude look on her face. And then Zora just stand up there looking like, damn. like, so and Jacob walks in and he was like, what's up, man? So I see you done met my daughter. And he was like, come holler at me for a minute. So that leaves Dante's girlfriend and Zora in the office. And so they talking and everything, getting to know each other. I didn't know that she was gonna be so, a little bit more nicer the way she came in there with attitude. So she's talking to Zora and everything. They talking about hair and makeup. And Zora mentioned about her crazy ex-boyfriend. And so she was like, well, girl, you should be happy now that that is out of your life. This is a new beginning for you, and you got your own place. Let me go check it out. So they went back to Zora's little cabin and everything. And let's see. So Lady May, she's going to go see what's going on with Miss Williams back at the office meeting with Miles. And then she finds out that she's in there with Miles for like 2 hours and she's crying. So that's what Corrine told her when she made it up there. So she's meeting with Miss Williams, and Charity is back at the computer like messing up something for Sister Judy. So we gonna come back to that, I guess. So Grace and AJ, they looking at this apartment, but since he's a convicted felon, they're not going to be able to rent to him. So Grace, she's thinking she can speak to the owner, and the secretary was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. So that's that. So Zora, she's in the office. She's back at her house with Dante's girlfriend, and they're talking and everything, and like I say, talking about hair and makeup, contour, and all that kind of stuff. And then I noticed that she was just kind of dazing in Zora's eyes, and she was like, girl, you should just be happy that he's out of your life. Like, this is a chance for you to just start something new, do something different. She's looking at Zora, and she started touching her hair. And it's like she was going in for a kiss, and I was not expecting that. Then Dante, he busts in the door to my ladies. Now, y'all in here with the door unlocked, y'all can't be doing this. Y'all got to be a little bit more careful. So AJ and Grace, they just sitting out talking, and he's just kind of disgusted, like, man, everybody gonna be looking at my track record. And the thing is, I'm not even a bad person. The reason why I did them 5 years is because I made one bad mistake, and that was breaking in the house of this family that I knew wasn't gonna be there. They was out on vacation, and I got me something to eat. I just wanted to get something to eat and just be in a place that's quiet and peaceful for a moment, and I fell asleep. So the police caught him there and they took him to jail. He was like, I'm not in jail because I'm a bad person. I'm in a jail. I was in jail because I made one bad decision. And I'm like, that happens. It happened to me. So I understand where he's coming from with that. And Grace, she's like, yeah, I understand. And she was saying, well, how about she was like offering him a better life somewhere peaceful where he could be happy and, and just have a better life. So she's offering him a second chance at having it and establishing a relationship with her. So again, Zora. So yeah, the little chick, she trying to come on to Zora and everything. Dante busted in and caught him. Well, he didn't catch him. He busted in. He didn't even really know that was about to happen. So yeah, so Lady May is talking with Miss Williams, and she was like, "So, I'm so sorry that Grace is not here. She was supposed to be meeting with your daughter and taking her on an intervention and everything like that, and setting up everything for her to get her life back on track." And she was like, "Well, what could I do?" And the lady was like, Miss Williams was like, "Well, nothing, because to be honest with you, I've already made up my mind that in the absence of Pastor Grace, we already chose the pastor we wanted to work with for our daughter if Grace wasn't available, and it's not you." She was like, "We never really wanted to see you at the head of the church again anyway." And Lady May was like, "Why? Why you feel that way about me?" And then Miss Williams was like, "Because we we have a feeling that you knew what Mac was doing with those girls, that he was abusing those girls and using the scholarship money to keep them quiet." So Lady May was like, "What? Not me. I didn't." And stuff like that. She was just dumbfounded about it all, and she was shocked because it was like she wasn't expecting Miss Williams to bring that up. So they just took her to the dark place again. And yeah, so she's upset. She goes to the car, and Bishop was like, "So did you and Miss Williams talk about everything? Have y'all a meeting that I wasn't allowed to be in?" And she said, "Yep, and I don't want to talk about it." So she's all hurt. You could tell she was hurt. So they went back to the house. Um, let's see. They went back to the house, and then Miles, he walks in the office and talking to Charity. And she's telling him about not wanting to sing those songs that he wants her for to sing now in church and everything. She was like, "Because I just don't like the sound. Like, that's not me. I can't get with that." And he was like, "Look, you need to grow up. So you gonna sing them songs, and that's that. How you call yourself wanting to be in a higher position and you don't even want to, like, do what it is that I need you to do and stuff like, it just pretty much just putting her in a place that he told her to grow up." I'm like, if everybody don't tell Charity to grow up at some point, even though he's dirty though. So she was like, "Well, did you know that Grace is out of town?" And he said, "No, I did not know that. I think she in Phoenix." And he was like, "No, I did not know that, but thank you for telling me." And she was talking about some, "Well, I guess you should feel bad now for coming in here getting on me when I gave you some information about Grace." Like, girl, that ain't nothing. Like, he was going to find that out anyway. And don't think that that's going to get you in this position any faster because you playing these dirty games against your own sister just to get the pastor's position. Like, girl, go sit down somewhere. She really gets on my nerves, Charity. So, so he was like, "But thank you for telling me that." So he walked on up out of the office. Let's see. So back at the house, Lady May, she's looking at these pictures and everything. And she's looking at this picture of Faith. And she was like, "Do you think that," she was talking to Bishop. She said, "Do you think that I knew about Mac and what he was doing to those girls?" And Bishop was like, "Is that what y'all was talking about? You and Miss Williams?" And she said, "All of them think that I know." And she just started crying and everything. And then he sat down by her on the couch. He was like, "Don't beat yourself up about that. You didn't know." And she said, "But what if I did know and I just swept it under the rug and I just been living in denial? Like, what if I did know?" And he was just saying, "Just don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. You didn't know," and stuff like that. And just telling her to forgive herself. You got to forgive yourself. So, yeah. So, Grace, she shows up to see AJ and he's all excited. Like, "Look, I found this apartment and the landlord's going to be out a couple of days, but how about just buy me a blow up mattress and a couple of things to get me settled just for now?" And she was like, "AJ, look." And then he had this look on his face like, what you about to say?" And she was like, "I need to leave town for a couple of days, but I'll be back. And I'm going to give you some money." And he was like, "Look, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it." It was like he just knew already that she was about to tell him she's about to leave again. And that couldn't happen at a worse moment when she just came back in his life. She's trying to convince him that I want to be in your life and I want to help you to get on the right track and live a more happy and peaceful life. So he's like, and then you about to leave again. You know what? Don't even worry about the money. I'm good. I'm fine. And she was trying to touch him, and when she touched his shoulder, he moved back like don't touch me. You don't get to touch me. I mean, you pop back up and then you leave again. And that's what he pretty much telling her. And she's like, it's not like that. I have to go take care of something and I will be back right back. Like I promise you. And then he was like, you know what? I don't worry about it. So he's just like not trying to hear, very dismissive, and he walked away. And so Grace makes it back to the house. So they went from that moment with Bishop and Lady May, and she's crying and all upset and everything about everything with Mac, and feeling the guilt behind the fact that Faith had killed herself behind what her uncle did to her. So now they at the house, and all of them just looking at pictures and everything in the scrapbook, and they pulled out like the overhead projector with the picture slides of the family picture slides. So once they pulled that out and they set that up to look at, the whole family is there. So everybody's sitting around looking at the picture. The first picture that came up was a picture of Faith. And Jacob's was like, I'm so sorry, Mom, I didn't know, because, he's controlling the slides and everything. He was like, Mom, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that Faith was going to be the first picture. And Lady Mae was like, that's okay, don't worry about it, just let it stay there for a minute. So they just sitting there all looking at Faith. And all of them just got tears in their eyes and everything. So after that, Grace, she leaves, she goes to her room, and she calls AJ. And he's like, what do you want? What do you want? And she was like, AJ, I just want you to come home. I was like, what? So that's how the episode came to an end. But I want to backtrack a little bit. Jacob had went home and brought Carissa a bouquet of flowers. And she was like, what did you do now? And he was like, I just want to let you know, I just want to make you happy. I just want my wife to be happy. And I don't want to sell the property. And she was like, look, you're going to have to make your mind up. So what it is, because I'm your wife. And then the phone rings. He picks up the phone and was like, okay, I'll be there shortly. And she looking like, now he about to leave again. So now we're not going to be talking about the property. So I can't wait to see what next week's episode is going to be like. But yeah, that's how this episode came to an end. Grace went upstairs. She called AJ and she was like, I want you to come home. And when she said that to him, she's just like holding her breath, like, I hope he don't start screaming on the phone. But she holding her breath. And he's holding the phone. And he just standing up there like, you really want me to be a part of your life? Like, you really serious? You really trying? And so that's how the show went off tonight. Tonight was a really good episode. To sum it up, the perfect description for tonight will be sombering, because it was like real sad and depressing, but good enough to keep me watching. It was interesting enough to keep me watching. It was a good show tonight. So yeah, well, that concludes my recap. Y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next week.